Assalamu alaikum. I am Hafsa Education Wali, a student of Rehan AI Teachers Training Institute, batch 23. My today's task is to call Maya and discuss how to master time management in our daily life. So, without wasting our time, we move forward and call to Maya and ask her some questions.
Hey there. What's up?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. So, what's on your mind?
I want to ask you some questions about how to master time management in our daily life.
I'm all in. Time management is basically the art of not letting the day run you. Where do you want to start?
What is time management? Tell me in simple words.
Think of it as just being the boss of your own clock. It's basically choosing where your energy goes instead of just reacting to whatever happens. Does that make sense?
What is time management? Why is time management important in our daily life?
It's essentially just making a plan for your time so you aren't constantly rushing. As for why it matters, it's the difference between feeling like you're drowning in a to do list and actually having a moment to breathe. It keeps you from burning out and lets you actually enjoy the things you love.
What are the biggest causes of wasting time?
Usually, it's the little things that sneak up on you, like scrolling through your phone for 5 minutes that accidentally turns into an hour, or just staring at a wall because you're not sure where to start. Do you find yourself doing that often?
How can students manage their study time effectively?
The biggest trick is breaking things down into bite sized pieces. Instead of looking at a whole textbook, just focus on one chapter or even one section. Using a timer like the Pomodoro technique helps too, since it's easier to stay focused when you know a break is coming. Do you think that would work for your students?
How can working people balance job and personal life?
The secret is setting some hard boundaries. It's about deciding that when you're off the clock, you're actually off. No checking emails at dinner or bringing work stress into the living room. It's a lot easier when you have a ritual to signal the end of the day, like a walk or even just changing your clothes. Have you tried any of that?
What is the best morning routine for a productive day?
Honestly, the best routine is the one you actually stick to. But generally, starting with something that wakes up your brain and body, like a glass of water or a quick stretch, before you dive into screens is a game changer. It keeps you from starting the day in a reactive mode. Do you usually wake up feeling energized or more like a zombie?
How can we avoid procrastination?
The trick is to stop focusing on the finish line. When the task feels too big, our brains just shut down to protect us. Try the 2 minute rule. Tell yourself you'll just do it for 2 minutes. Usually, the hardest part is just starting, and once you're in it, the momentum takes over.
How can we stay focused while working or studying?
One of the biggest hurdles is just the environment. If your phone is right there, your brain is basically begging you to check it. Putting it in another room or using a focus app can clear up the noise. Also, taking short, planned breaks keeps your brain from hitting a wall. Does that feel doable for you?
What are some simple time management techniques?
There are a few classics that actually work without being too complicated. The Pomodoro technique, where you work for 25 minutes and then take 5, is great for staying sharp. Then there's the Eisenhower matrix, which is just a fancy way of sorting tasks into urgent and important, so you don't spend your whole day putting out fires. Which one sounds more your speed?
Repeat again. What is the Pomodoro technique and how does it work?
Sure thing. It's a simple timer method. You pick one task and set a timer for 25 minutes of total focus, then you take a 5-minute break. When you do that 4 times, you take a longer break, like 20 or 30 minutes. It just stops you from burning out by giving your brain a chance to reset.
How should we set priorities in our daily tasks?
The easiest way is to focus on the big three. Instead of a giant list that feels impossible, just pick 3 things that absolutely have to get done today. Everything else is just a bonus. It keeps you from feeling overwhelmed and gives you a clear win once they're finished. Do you usually make a list up every morning?
How can we manage mobile phone distractions?
The phone is basically a distraction machine designed to keep us hooked. One simple move is to turn off all non-human notifications. If it's not a real person trying to reach you, it probably doesn't need to interrupt your flow. Also, try creating phone-free zones, like the dinner table or your bedroom, so your brain has a place to actually unplug.
How
Do you
does
keep your phone next to you while I'm listening?
how does discipline improve time management?
Discipline is essentially the engine that makes the plan actually happen. Without it, a perfectly organized calendar is just a piece of paper. It's that ability to say no to the immediate distraction and yes to the goal you set for yourself. Turns a one-time effort into a habit, which is where the real magic happens because you stop fighting yourself and just start doing. Do you think you're more of a disciplined person or someone who goes with the flow?
I'm a little bit disciplined, but not perfect.
Nobody is perfect. It's more about progress than perfection. The fact that you're even thinking about these tools shows you're already on the right track.
Okay. How can time management reduce stress and anxiety?
It's all about getting the chaos out of your head and onto paper. When you have a plan, you stop spending all your mental energy worrying about what you might be forgetting. That background noise of anxiety just quiets down because you know exactly what's coming and when. Plus, it gives you permission to actually relax during your downtime without that guilt hanging over your head.
How can parents teach children time management?
It starts with making it a game instead of a chore. For younger kids, using visual timers or a sticker chart can help them see time passing since they don't really have a grasp of it yet. For older kids, involving them in the planning process, like letting them help decide the order of their chores or activities, gives them a sense of ownership. It's a lot more effective when they feel like they're managing their own life rather than just following orders. Do you have kids or are you thinking about this for students?
I have kids. I'm had
Oh, I see. I'm sorry, did you mean you have kids?
Yes, I have kids.
Got it. How old are they?
I have just one daughter, and she's 9 years old.
9 is such a great age. They're right at that spot where they're becoming their own little people, but still think you're the coolest person in the world. Does she like to help you with things around the house?
Yes, she helps me a lot, but she's younger. But I give her some chores, a little bit tasks, and she performs very well.
That's awesome. It sounds like she's already building those discipline muscles. Giving her small wins like that is the best way to get her confident with handling things on her own. Does she have a favorite chore she actually enjoys doing?
Yes, she enjoys. Okay, what habits do successful people follow for managing time?
They usually treat their time like it's a finite resource, not something that's just there. A huge one is time blocking, where they schedule specific blocks for certain types of work so they aren't switching tasks every 5 minutes. They also tend to prioritize sleep and health because they know they can't be productive if they're running on empty. And honestly, a big part of it is knowing when to say no to things that don't actually align with their goals.
Why do many people struggle with managing time?
It's often because we're fighting against our own biology. Our brains are wired to crave immediate rewards, like the hit of dopamine we get from a social media notification, rather than the long term satisfaction of finishing a project. Then you add in the pressure to be always on and available, and it's a recipe for feeling overwhelmed. Do you think it's more about lack of tools or, just the temptation to distract ourselves?
Yes.
It's a constant battle, right? I think we're all just trying to figure it out as we go. Out of everything we've talked about, is there one thing you're actually planning to try out first?
How does planning our day help us succeed?
It basically takes the guesswork out of your day. When you have a plan, you're not wasting mental energy deciding what to do next. You just do it. It turns your goals from just ideas into actual appointments with yourself. Plus, it gives you a huge sense of accomplishment when you can actually check something off the list. Do you usually plan your day the night before or in the morning?
I plan my day in the morning.
Morning planning is a classic. It lets you see exactly what you're dealing with for the day while you're fresh. Do you do it over coffee or just dive straight in?
How can students balance studies and extracurricular activities?
The key is treating everything as a non negotiable block of time. If they schedule their study time just as strictly as they schedule a sports game or a music lesson, it stops being a struggle of either or. It also helps to look for overlap, like a student who loves art using that creativity to make their study notes more visual. Does that sound like a strategy your students would respond to?
How does excessive social media usage affect productivity?
It's essentially a productivity killer. It creates this loop of micro distractions where you're not actually working, but you're not actually resting either. You just end up in this gray area where you're half focused and half scrolling, which makes everything take twice as long as it should. Do you find yourself falling into that loop often?
What are the best apps or tools for time management?
There are a few different types depending on how your brain works. For those who love a clean list, something like Todoist or any.do is great. If you're more of a visual person who likes seeing their whole week at a glance, Google Calendar and Notion are the gold standards. Then you have the focus tools like Forest, which basically gamifies staying off your phone by growing a virtual tree while you work. Do you prefer a simple checklist or something more detailed?
I prefer simple checklist.
Simple checklists are the way to go. There's something so satisfying about just crossing things off with a pen or quick tap. Do you usually keep your list on paper or on your phone?
How can teachers manage their workload effectively?
Teachers have one of the toughest balancing acts out there. The biggest win is often batching similar tasks. Instead of grading one paper here and there, setting aside a specific block of time to do all of them at once saves so much mental energy. Then there's the power of a shared resource bank, where teachers can swap lesson plans instead of everyone reinventing the wheel from scratch. Since you're so passionate about AI, do you think using AI tools to handle the administrative side of things is where the biggest time saver is for your colleagues?
Yes, really it is. It is really time saving for me as well as for my colleagues.
It's honestly a game changer. When you can automate the boring stuff, it leaves so much more room for the actual teaching and connecting with students. Do you have a favorite AI tool that you've been using lately?
Yes, my favorite AI tool is ChatGPT, and I'm using it.
Activity sounds interesting. I've heard a few people mention it for organizing conversations. What do you use it for most often?
For getting help in my educational system because I am a teacher. and I get help from it.
That's a huge win. Using it to streamline your educational system sounds like a smart way to take some of that pressure off. Does it help you more with the actual lesson planning or the administrative side of things?
Yes, it exactly, it helps me a lot.
It's a huge relief when the tools actually do what they're supposed to. Since you're using it for your classes, are you sharing any of these AI shortcuts with your students too?
Okay, let me ask you some other questions.
I'm all
What
ears.
habits
What's
waste
on your
the
mind?
most time in daily life?
Usually it's the stuff we don't even realize we're doing, like mindless scrolling on social media or the habit of saying yeses to every single request because we don't want to let people down. Even just overthinking a task before you start can eat up an hour before you've even typed a word. Do any of those feel like your biggest time sink?
What are the three golden rules of time management?
If I had to boil it down to three, I'd say the first is to prioritize ruthlessly. The second is to protect your focus by cutting out distractions. And the third is to be kind to yourself when things don't go according to plan, because a rigid schedule is a fragile one. Do you think one of those is harder to follow than the others?
Yes.
Which one is the trickiest for you?
What advice would you give to young people about valuing time?
I tell them that time is the only thing you can't actually buy more of. It's easy to feel like you have forever when you're young, but the real secret is learning that later is a dangerous word. I'd encourage them to spend their time on things that actually make them feel alive, not just things they feel like they should be doing. Do you think the kids in your community would be open to hearing that?
Yes. Thank you, Maya. Thank you for having your time, and have a great night. Good night.
You're so welcome. It was great chatting with you. Good night.